What's up tonight, guys? I hope things are well with everybody. Going back to old school, got the laptop out, the old microphone, and back to the way I used to do it. Sorry, you kind of caught me eating here. Almost canceled tonight, but I decided to go ahead and do it. It's been a while since I did a live on my own by myself. Asked a couple guys to come on. Everybody's either driving or they're heading home. I had originally planned on being home on Tuesday, but that kind of changed once the truck went down. But it's all good. It's all good. Thank you, darling. Wife says I'm looking good and sounds good. Good deal. I'm gonna wait a few minutes here and let a few people get in. We got 9 in here right now. Anybody got any comments about anything they want to talk about tonight? Because I'm gonna leave it up to you guys tonight on the live. We'll stay on, for a little bit, but it's gonna be up to you guys to bring the content. I'm gonna turn this fan towards me. A little warm. I thought it would be nicer in here. I had the air on for a long time, but everybody's week's been pretty good. Anybody got any comments on their week? Should get some more air in here, I believe. I've actually had a couple good weeks under the circumstances of everything going on. Um, Obviously, I had 2 breakdowns, 2 weeks in a row. First one was the brake chamber. Still ended up having a decent week, and of course, last week the truck broke down itself. Um, yeah, Patrick, I don't know anything yet. I gotta figure that out next week. They told me they weren't even going to get started on it right away when it broke down last week. So, yeah, I got to get on top of that. By the way, make sure you call me, Patrick, because I want to give you some advice on when to start. I know we texted back and forth for a little bit earlier, but make sure you do because I want to save you a little bit of money on the day that you start, and I think you'll appreciate what I tell you. I mean, I don't know what your ultimate plans are when you want to come aboard, but I think this is your best bet. Got 4 guys over here now. Actually, I got 5 guys over here now, and we had some good conversation last night. I gave them all the tips on what I did to make things work. Um, you're never going to be a millionaire over here, but you can make some decent steady money over here. I've never told anybody that you would get rich over here. I was always true to my word. How much money you can make over here, and it's impossible to and a lot of guys want to come over here and they want to run 3,000 miles a week. If that's what you want to do, it's going to be hard to do. It's not capable. There's no way. Now you might get 3,000 miles one week, but the next week you might only get 2. Um, there's just certain things that just aren't physically possible with the time clock. I know a lot of people can run 34, 36, 37, maybe even 4,000 miles. And when you get to that level, you get to the high threes, it becomes a legal issue. Are you really doing it legal? Now, granted, some trucks are a little bit faster than others, but it's swift with the limiters on the trucks. I mean, there's only so much you can drive in one day, and in reality, that magic number is between 650 and 700. Um, and that's really hauling ass and pushing it too. G80 Sean says Bronx on the check and heading home. So you're at the Bronx now. That's a place that I will never. You'll never see me there unless I'm visiting in a car or walking, something like that. But I don't. I don't think I'll ever do that. Yeah, I don't know how long this live's going to last tonight, guys, because I know everybody's on their way home or they're driving tonight to get home. I wanted to keep the things going. Oh, and by the way, I am working, and I got a text today from my guy at ES Advantage. That's the fuel card that I have. We're going to be in talks probably next Monday. I'm going to try and get him and his supervisor on. He's the director of sales. I'm going to try and get him on the show here in the next couple weeks. Look out for that. And granted, that the ES Advantage card was never my idea. I just want to get it on here and get it to my guys because it is a great idea. I know Trucker Todd was the one that really first brought the ES Advantage card out, and then the Contractor Corner guys from Swift they kind of followed suit. I'm not copying anybody else's deal or anything like that. The card is that good, for the savings and for the showers and stuff. Again, like I said, I'm not trying to copy anybody. I just want to bring it in because I think it's a great tool for guys over here at Swift, and it's a great tool for anybody really, but especially over here at Swift with no fuel discounts, only the fuel surcharge. You would never deliver to the Bronx, okay? Bronx on the check. Well, clue me in. What were you talking about? Bronx on the check. I know you're heading home. Maybe I misunderstood you. Speaking of which, J.D. Sean, how's it going for you at Schneider? Are you doing okay over there? I know there was a little bit of talk a few weeks ago that you were possibly looking at making a change, but let me know how things are going for you. Okay, we just jumped up to 17. I mean, literally just within like a minute, 17 people. Anyway, I don't really like a whole lot of dead air, but just to kind of give you guys an idea, like I was saying, I've had some pretty good weeks just running. I'm booked up solid all the way up till about Monday evening, all through the weekend, and that was my original plan, was to go home around Tuesday of last week, but things just didn't work out the way my loads were, and I wanted to keep running, and quite frankly, this week, we canceled. We had a party set up for Saturday, but we ended up canceling because of the rain that's supposed to be coming in, and we decided to change plans. And because of that, I changed my plans. I said, well, I'm just going to stay out through the weekend as long as I can stay running. And if I can stay running, make a little bit of money, then I'll come home around Tuesday of next week, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna have to go home by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. My last load that I have Monday delivers right outside of Indianapolis, Indiana. So my goal is just to get a load straight down to, South Georgia, North Florida, or something like that, for the next load after that. G80 Sean says, not too good. I had a 5,000 gross week. Now it's horrible. I need something more consistent. I got to tell you the truth. Schneider's not a bad place to stay consistent with $5,000 gross week. Now, let me back up a little bit. That was, 3 months ago too now, almost 4 months ago. I never had any problems making 5K. Over here, you don't need to, it's a little bit different because Swift pays for a lot of stuff. You don't really have to gross 5K over here to make a good paycheck. If you're grossing 4 to 4,200, I mean, you're making a decent check. You're making almost a $2,000 paycheck with that. I mean, if you're grossing anything over 42, then, up to 4,500, you're in the $2,500 range. The math's real easy over here, guys. I mean, your truck payment, your insurance, that's usually right around $1,000 between those two, and your fuel about $1,000. And I mean, that's about it. I mean, your incidentals of everything. I mean, they pay for everything. So if you got $1,000 in fuel and $1,000 for your truck and your insurance, that's $2,000. You're at $4,500. You're at $2,500 bring home. The math is really, really easy over here, and it's a matter of just running. At $4,500 gross, that's about $2,800 or 2,800 miles, give or take. 4,000, you're at about 24 to 2,500 miles. That's pretty easy math. Not really here to recruit tonight, believe it or not. Just kind of here to chit chat. Happy 4th of July to everybody. Like I said, I've got 5 people that have come over just in the last 2 weeks. I've got at least another 4 or 5 that are scheduled in the next couple of weeks. I'm trying to help the guys out as much as I can. Matter of fact, that reminds me, I got to call Steve back tonight. He had an issue with something today. I got to give him a call back. Uh, my original plans was I was just going to cancel the show tonight, maybe try and do it tomorrow night, but I went ahead and decided to go ahead and go with it tonight. Excuse me. Got me a Marco's pizza just a little while ago. I absolutely love Marco's. That's one of my wife's favorite places. Um, Walked across the street and ordered one. I ordered a small pizza, and the bill came up to like $19. I'm like, okay, it's kind of weird. I looked at the receipt. It looks good, and went ahead and paid it. When pizza came out, they handed me a large pizza, and I said, I didn't order a large pizza. I ordered a small. I said, well, what the hell did I pay for? I said, you paid for a large pizza. I'm like, damn, this is a lot of pizza for one person. I like pizza. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to eat any more than 2 or 3 pieces. So end up, it takes like a week to get your money back. So I just said, hell with it. I'll take the pizza. And, he offered to give me a discount for next time. I said, well, buddy, I probably won't be back here, in this area. I'm a truck driver. It's just one of those things. I said, no big deal. I'll take the pizza. I saw a couple other truck drivers parked here where I'm at. I'm not at a truck stop. I'm at like a little stop here. It's designed for truck parking. There's a Waffle House next door. I asked a couple truck drivers. Nobody wanted the pizza. I mean, it was fresh, but whatever. I was going to half it with them, but nobody wanted any. There I am talking about Marco's Pizza, and now I'm eating a oatmeal cake. It's actually a food line over here too. I went to this little grocery shop, which I usually don't do unless it's Walmart. All right, guys, let's bring some topics up. Anybody seen any good stops with the English proficiency? Anything going on with that? Anybody got any stories about it? So Jonas says, I got to call Michelle back on Monday. Okay. Is she getting somewhere with that for you? Is she going to be able to bring you aboard? I was actually talking to her the other day about it. I know you were on another YouTuber's channel, and I happened to catch you, and you said you were going to go to Mercer. What's the story on that? Are you going to go to Mercer? Dan Isaac says, hey, Fly, I got my app in there at Swift. I went and did my drug screen and physical today. Awesome, buddy. Awesome. That's a good deal, man. Who's your recruiter? And did you use me as a referral? I hope you did. Just joking. If you did, that's fine. I haven't talked to her in a few weeks. Oh, you just want to give her a ring and see what's going on. I got you. Yeah, Dan. Congratulations, man. You'll okay. So you are using Michelle. Good deal. Dan, haven't we talked before? Did you use me as a referral? I'm pretty sure you did. Michelle will definitely take care of you. Big Cam, does Swift have a lot of freight going out west? That's a big question that everybody always asks. Yes and no. They do have a lot of freight out west. And quite honestly, the freight that's out west, they usually like, this is what I've seen. I can't prove it. I don't know for sure. I might be talking out of my ass, but I think the freight that they have out west, they try to keep for the drivers out west. I mean, they do have stuff that goes back and forth. It's rare, but it does happen. But the west freight stays with the west guys usually, and the east freight stays with the east guys usually. And that's, I-35, what every company does. I-35 is right around where the east-west line is. But, yeah, to answer your question, yeah, that's what I think that they do. All right, so you did use me as a referral. Okay, good deal. Did it on last week's video. Okay. Well, I appreciate it, Dan. I really do, bud. You need to keep in touch with me and let me know. Matter of fact, let me throw my number up here. If you want to, if you're driving, give me a call tomorrow. I'll be driving all day, and we can talk about it. And I'll try to give you some hints on a few things. I'll try and help you out as much as I can before you even come over. So the 5 guys that are over here now, I talk to 4 of them on a regular basis. One of them I don't get to talk to very often. He doesn't ask a lot of questions, but that's okay. But the 4 guys that I do talk to, even that 5th guy, they're ecstatic. They're doing very well over here. Um, just like everybody, when they come over, they were surprised that they can make that kind of money here. And, it's pretty steady. Jay Deshawn, haha. I seen an SFI just waving in and out of traffic. Traffic bobtail. Wow. Well, I can tell you one other thing too, Jay Deshawn. SFI starting to ramp up their videos and their stuff on YouTube here lately. Their commercials. I know they got a crap ton of trucks over there on their lot in Charlotte. And I'm sure they do in Green Bay too, but they're starting to ramp them up. All right, Dan. Yeah, give me a call tomorrow. I'll be driving all day. I think my clock starts at 4 a.m., 4:30, something like that. But call me anytime you're up. We can chit chat. Michelle's a good girl, or good girl, good lady. She'll take care of you. So you got your app in, you get your drug screen and physical today. So you got your drug screen and your physical today. That's awesome. So you'll probably get your drug screen back with the holiday and everything. I would say by Monday, maybe Tuesday at the latest. Um, and I got Patrick who's going to call me tomorrow too, and I'm going to tell him the same thing I'm going to tell you of when to start and how to work things. So we'll go over all that tomorrow. Anybody got any English proficiency stories? I honestly I haven't seen really anything. I can tell you one thing. I drove through Georgia today. I drove on 20 coming up from Beach Island, South Carolina. If any of you guys have ever been there, it's right there by Augusta, Georgia. I came up 20 into Atlanta. The black DOT cars, man, they were stopping trucks left and right down that stretch of highway, 40 miles or so, 150 miles. Everywhere I turned, they had a truck pulled over, doing whatever. It was pretty stiff there today. So you've been there a lot, yeah. I'm sure with where you live at, that's probably one of your loads out of the house is that it's not P&G, it's Kimberly Clark out of Beach Island. Easy loads, easy in, easy out. It's all drop and hook. I don't think they have any live stuff for us. You basically drop your trailer in the dirt lot and circle back around to the office, get your paperwork. Your loaded trailer is usually right on the other side of the office, and then you're out the door. It's pretty easy. Not much to it. Oh, man. Guys, I tell you what, I've had issues with my arm for the last week and a half. It's not as bad as it has been. It's actually gotten better. And I it's just taken all my energy out the last week and a half. I'm sleepy, I'm tired. I just want to laze around. I haven't been late for anything, and I haven't overslept or anything like that. But it's just that when it's time to get up, it's hard to get up. I think a lot of it has to do with old age too. But I don't know. This last 6 months has really it's really taken a beating on me. And guys, I'm going to tell you a funny story. And me and 18 Wheels talked about this not too long ago. But these internationals, man, I didn't think much of it at first, but here lately, why is that not doing that? Hang on a second, guys. These internationals, man, they don't ride very well on the highway. If you ever go down I-70 from Indiana to the Ohio State line, everybody knows how rough that patch of road is, and my God, it'll beat you to death. And I really, honestly don't remember me having that much of an issue when I had the Kenworth. Um, Anybody who's had the Kenworth before knows that the Kenworth drives like a Cadillac. Rides like it's on, well, it is on air, but it rides really well. But these internationals, man, they've been beating the hell out of me. Well, Michelle will be in the office tomorrow. No, I think everybody's off tomorrow. It's 4th of July. I don't think anybody's there. You're going to have to call her on Monday. So Dan says he can't stand internationals. I actually like the international truck as a whole. A lot of people give it shit, but it's a rough ride. It really is. I got to tell you the truth. I'm in a 24 international loaner till my truck is fixed. I got to tell you the truth. My truck is 5 years older than this truck. This one's a 24. Mine's a 19. My truck rides better than this truck does. Not knocking on the 24. And I'd like to know who the brilliant son of a gun was who ordered these Swift Internationals without a suspension dump. To me, that's just asinine that you don't have a suspension dump on these trucks, especially when you get a heavy trailer. I got the kingpin stuck on the frame the other day. I had no way to dump it or bring it up or anything. I had to go out and actually crank the trailer sky high because they dropped the trailer too damn low. Yeah, I don't know who did that, but that's dumb. What's up, Roger? How's it going, buddy? I don't like the hoods on them. Yeah, lifting the hood, that's another thing with my arm too. These hoods are heavy on the internationals too, compared to, on the Volvos. I mean, you could literally lift the hood with 2 fingers on the side of the truck. I don't remember the Kenworth. I don't think it was that hard to do either. Yeah. Where's all my trolls at tonight? Don't have any tonight, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but yeah, it's been kind of quiet. Surprisingly, trolls don't bother me anymore. Wow. Face is getting more narrow. Continuing to lose weight. I can't wait to see what my weight is when I go home. Last time I was at home, I weighed on the scale. It was 232 pounds, which I haven't been there since I was 18 years old. And I'm not even really trying to do anything. Roger Berry says it's all good. Getting unloaded, headed to Lexington, be done for the week. All right, well, good deal. Heading to Lexington. Is Lexington home for you? I'm assuming Kentucky. I'm from Kentucky too originally. Well, actually Indiana, but I lived in Kentucky for a long time. You need a different team hat, though. You don't like my Louisville Cardinals, huh? What team is yours? Speaking of which, I got me some Fly Rabbit hats that I'm going to be bringing out here real soon. I'll probably have one on next week. David, just getting up. I'll catch the replay. Thanks for the lives and giving me something to listen to while driving. Hit that like button. Thank you, David. Appreciate it, buddy. Jeremy Griggs. Your troll trying to get referral money for Swift. I'm a troll for trying to get money for Swift. Okay. Well, I don't know about that. I'm not really trolling anybody, and I've never hidden the secret that I'm getting referral money. Interesting. Just joining in. Hey, Sean, how's it going, buddy? Oh, so you're in Indiana University. Okay. When I was going to college, I had 2 schools to look at. I had University of Louisville and Indiana University. I ended up going to University of Louisville instead. So didn't last. I only did 4 semesters, I believe. But if I would have went to Indiana, I probably would have stuck with it. But who knows? Indiana's a good school too. Very good school. Wow, congratulations on their weight. I've dropped 40 pounds since the 1st of March. That's an Averett terminal I work out of. You live in Cynthiana. I've been to Cynthiana many times. When I worked for the sheriff's department in Jefferson County, which is Louisville, I used to. I've done many prisoner runs, and I've been to. There's 120 counties in Kentucky, and I've been to every single one of them. I think I've actually been to Cynthiana. Cynthiana, is that the county seat? I believe it is, isn't it? If it is, I've been to your jail before. I'm pretty sure that it is. But Dan, back to yours. I've been a University of Louisville fan since day one. Since I was a baby, I kind of grew into it. Roger Berry, yes, in Harrison County. Okay, I figured it was. I was almost positive I've been there. I couldn't tell you again how to get there or what it looks like, but I know I've been there. I've been to all of them. When you do that kind of work, you have a habit of going to all the different counties. Of course, that's been going on 20, 25, almost 30 years ago. Wow. I'm trying to think what year. 2002 was the last year I was there, so 27 years ago. Wow. God, it's crazy, man. Where's these years go? Jail, Joe B. Hall country, about 30 miles north of Lexington. Oh, yeah. Joe B. Hall. That's a name that we haven't heard in a long time. You know, I got to tell you guys a funny story. A good friend of mine, he's a Kentucky fan also, and he worked for Kroger back in the day. And people don't know this, but Joe B. Hall and Denny Crum, which was Louisville's coach, they were best friends. They went fishing. They did everything together. A lot of people didn't know that, but when it came to the court, man, it was a different story. They were arch rivals for years. Um, it's so funny because back in the 70s and the early 80s, Louisville and Kentucky never played each other because back then Louisville was in the Metro Conference. No longer, there is no Metro Conference anymore, but of course, Kentucky was always SEC, excuse me. But they never played until 1983. It's just the way the brackets worked out that year, and they end up playing, out of all places, Knoxville, Tennessee. And I'm a guy that I can honestly say that I actually got to go to that game. It was the first time they had played in more than 50 years. And then the year after that, or maybe it was 2 years after that, it's either 84, 85, they made it a regular staple that they always had the Battle of the Bluegrass. Now they have it all the time. Of course, it hasn't been as competitive the last few years. And any of you guys that watch basketball, is it just me, or does it just seem like basketball isn't as exciting as it has been than it was 25 years ago? It's just, especially the NBA. Now, this year's an exception. This year's finals were pretty damn good. But in the last 20 years, the NBA finals and any NBA game, it's just like, it just seems to me that they don't really try hard to make baskets. I mean, they just shoot 3 points all the time. There's no fast breaks or anything anymore. There's nothing competitive. Lazy guys. His mom ran a floor shop, one of the nicest women you could ever meet. All of 4'10". Sounds like my wife. She's 4'10". I think she's 4'11". 4'11 and 3/4 is what she'll say. Yeah, I don't. I never ran into Joby Hall. I don't know anything about him. I've talked to, being in the sheriff's office stuff. Obviously, I've talked to Denny Crum many, many, many times and had some dealings with him. All right, let's see here what we got. 25 people on here, guys. Anybody got anything you want to talk about? I mean, we've been talking basketball here for a little bit. And, Louisville never really had a football team up until the early 2000s. Their football always sucked. And Kentucky, the same thing. They never really had a football game up until, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. It's always been basketball country in Kentucky. Always has been. And when I moved to Florida, I really became a football fan more than basketball and just kind of lost interest. Of course, I was happy in 2013 when the Cardinals won it all. They're one of the only teams that won it all being a number one bracket. I know there's a few of them out there. I know North Carolina, obviously Duke, and those schools. The usual blue bloods have done it, Kentucky, but Louisville's one of the only smaller schools that ever did that. Not that Louisville's a small school, but well, I mean, guys, I appreciate y'all coming on. We've been on here 30 minutes. if nobody really has anything to talk about, and I know it's the holiday has a lot to do with it too, and that's fine. If nobody really has anything to talk about, we'll cut her loose. Um, you guys, serious business, July 4th. I mean, I think most of the traffic was today. Sunday's probably going to be busy again. Sunday and maybe into Monday. I don't know if people are making it a long holiday if they're going home on Sunday or if they're going home on Monday. But be careful on the roads, guys. There's been a lot of crazy accidents in the last couple of weeks, man. A lot of truck crashes and things have been crazy. I don't do you I every day. I don't buy you. You don't buy U of L every day. Okay. So Jonas says he'll come on. Oh, drive by. Okay. Jonah said he's going to get off the phone and he's going to come on with me. So maybe if we get Jonah on here, we can have a little bit of a conversation. um, New movie on. Actually, I got a couple movies for you guys. A couple TV series. New TV series on Apple TV called Smoke. Absolutely phenomenal. It's about an arson investigator, and I won't go into a whole lot of details, but it's probably one of the most. Um, I say arson investigator, but it's more of a cop drama. He has a woman with him that's is a police officer. But anyway, great series. I don't know the main character's name, but man, great acting in it. It's really, really good. And another show that I just started watching last night was Head of States on Prime. It's got John Cena. Not that I'm a big fan of his, but I thought it was going to be a comedy, but it ended up being more of a drama. And it's got that Ibris Elson or whatever his name is, the black actor from England. Um, he's a phenomenal actor too. To me he's one of those unknown. You know, he's known, but he's nobody really pays attention to him. He's a fabulous actor too. Anyway, series is pretty damn good. And it's that one's a movie. The Smoke is a series. But two good things to look out for, guys. How's your miles been lately? So Dan, I consecutively get 24 to 2,700 miles almost every single week. No problems, no issues. As long as you're available and you have hours, you shouldn't have any problems getting those miles. And with that being said, now my pay is a little bit different because I own my own truck. Now, with that being said, guys, for the last 2 weeks, I've made two truck payments. Not only have I had my truck payment, which really isn't a lot of money, but I'm also paying a lease payment on this rental truck, which is almost the cost of what a lease payment would be. So I'm paying on two trucks right now. And I'm still consistently making the money and making the miles. And you can do it, guys. I mean, I don't know how else to tell you. As long as you're available with your hours and you run your clock right, it's not hard to get 2,500 plus miles a week. Um, I haven't hit 3,000 yet, but I was at almost 2,900 3 weeks ago, right before all my breakdowns started. And that was a really good week for me. I took home over $3,300 that week. I believe 3,300 ish, if I'm not mistaken. Had a little bit of detention in there too. So I sat for almost like 8 or 9 hours that night on one of them. How long do you stay out at a time? So everybody always asks me that. I don't really ever have a good answer. I'm kind of a bad person to tell you that because I go home when I need to go home. I stay out when I need to stay out. I'm on a mission to make as much money as I can for the next couple of months. So I've been staying out 3 to 4, and this week it's going to be 5 weeks. I did 5 weeks the last time too. I don't like staying out that long, but unfortunately I had it planned out to go home for the 4th of July, and it just didn't work out. So I ended up staying out another week. But I am definitely going home Tuesday into Wednesday, somewhere in that area, because I need to get home and do some stuff. I need some time with the family, and I need to recharge my batteries. I'll bobtail or deadhead home if I have to, but I am definitely going home next week. But to answer your question, I like to stay out 2 weeks and then go home to do a 34, maybe 48 hours, and then go back out and rinse and repeat. To me, that works out perfect for me and my lifestyle with me and my family. And if I have to, I'll stay 3 or 4 days at home. It just depends. But again, my situation's a little bit different because I don't have a well, other than right now, but I don't have that $700 a week truck payment like you would with a lease truck. How do you like the load board? Um, I got to tell you the truth. I'm a big fan of the load board. Um, I've got, well, actually, the load that I'm on now is a load board load, and I've got two more loads that are stacked on top of me to keep me busy through the weekend that are load board loads. Now, granted, I've got about 180 miles to drive deadhead that I don't get paid for with the next one, and then the load after that, my deadhead is, I don't think it's even 100 miles. So there's a little bit of deadhead, but it keeps me moving, keeps me rolling, and I don't have to compete with the planner. Excuse me, I didn't think what I was saying there, but I don't have any problems with the load board. There's my good friend Alaska. Oh, what's going on, buddy? Glad to have you in here. Uh, if anybody knows him, you need to go check his channel out. He's YouTube royalty. He comes on here quite a bit. He's a great guy. Never met him, but we've had our disagreements in the past on here. But stand up guy. He has no problems telling you what's going on. But glad to have you in, Alaska. Someday I'd love to catch up with you and meet you. He's actually offered to bring me over to his company and work for him. I just don't think I'm ready to get into that stuff anymore. Not well anymore, but not right now. Rates have to go back up, way up before I'll get back into that. Everybody knows my feelings about dealing with brokers and all that shit. The 2080 companies and all that crap. It's just not me. And another thing too, guys. Not only is the money, to me, it's better over here for me, but I'm happier over here. Um, I'm in my comfort zone, if that makes any sense. Now, granted, I know Papa Swift is always here to help out and back up on, certain bills and stuff like that. But even if they didn't, I mean, I'm still happier here. It's just a comfortable situation for me because I know everything about their loads. Uh, Petrino brought football to Louisville. Yeah, I agree with you. Petrino was a good coach. He just had a hard time with the younger ladies, and he's a repeat offender. He did. He's done that quite a few times. I think he's done it 2 or 3 times where he's gotten on motorcycle accidents and had issues with females. I don't know if they were cheerleaders or students or what, but I know he likes the young girls. Alaska Hall, anytime, maybe sometime on the road. Ran into Trucker Todd a few months ago. Yeah, well, last time I talked to Trucker Todd, he said that you two did run into each other. He sure did. All right, I'll send you another link there, Jonah. Hang on just a second, buddy. Try that one, Jonah. So, Aaron, when you get with Michelle to do truck walk around, try and do the T680 next gen. Okay. You know what? Next time I'm in that area, I will. I'll do a walk around on a T680 for you. If I end up going back to a lease truck, which is very possible, that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm probably gonna order me a new T680. They got, like Michelle was talking about last week, where you can do short term lease and then you can order a truck. I think that's what I'm gonna probably do. I've got no intentions of leaving this place. I'm gonna be here for a while, at least until I retire. Did that work, Jonah? Alaska Hall says there is no Swift trailer that can sneak by me without noticing. We'll look out for your international. Keep saying spam on my end. Huh. Yeah, Jonah, I don't know. I'll email it to you. Give me your email, Jonah, and I'll email it to you. Yeah, my International is a white International. It's the only one in the fleet that'll have the A26. So if you see the A26, you'll see it. Whoops. Bear with me a second, guys, here. Paste. There, see if that works, Jonah. Yeah, my International, as far as I know, is a matter of fact, I know it's the only one. It's the only one that has the A26 motor. And quite frankly, I actually like that motor. Like I said, I still think my truck's better than the one that I'm in, and it's 5 years newer, which really is kind of strange. I think mine rides better. It drives better. The only thing that this one does better is the fuel mileage is quite a bit better in this one. I'm usually in the low to mid eights. You know, it doesn't really matter if it's heavy or empty. I'm usually about nine. Nine is about as high as I can go. This one here, I've got 25,000 pounds, and guys, I was getting like 10 miles a gallon in this truck, which is crazy to me. But and it's a Cummins too, which really surprisingly, I thought the A26 would be better on fuel. But you know, it's got 300,000 miles less. All right, so Alaska Haul, I'm in a different truck because my truck broke down on me last Tuesday. So it's been down for a little bit over a week. It's at the Swift shop. They're going to repair it. And that's something else I want to go over with you guys here in a second, too. They're going to repair it, and we think it's an EGR gasket on top of the intake. Not 100%, but I was losing a lot of coolant, and it was more and more each time. Let's see what we got going on. Will not let you click on it. Jonah, it's got to be something on your end. Try it one more time, Jonah, and if this doesn't work, then we're just going to have to call it. Let's see if I can do it this way. Copy. Ah, that's not what I want. Hold on, guys. We'll finish this story in just a second. There, try that one, see if that one works. Anyways, they're going to fix it. That's what we think it is. It was losing a lot of coolant really quickly, and it really happened within 50 to 100 miles. It just got progressively worse and worse, and finally I just said, hell with it. I'm going to stop it. And waited for a wrecker. They called a wrecker to come and get it. By the way, with Swift's discounts and stuff, the wrecker charged $250 an hour, and it was 4.5 hours. 2 hours to get me, and then half hour to screw around with it, getting the drive shaft unhooked and all that crap, and then 2 hours back to the terminal. So 4.5 hours at $250. I got the bill for it this week, $225. Where can you go and get a tow for almost 60 miles for $225? That was with Swift's discount. Dan says, does Swift have any dedicated lanes I can get into? Where do you live at, Dan? But they have a lot of dedicated stuff. Booyah. So, Brandon, I got to know, you send me those messages all the time. Booyah and ooyah and all that stuff. What are we trying to say there? I'm just curious. I appreciate the messages. Maybe blown EGR cooler, but it would be smoking from the exhaust like crazy. Now, it wasn't smoking at all. I was just using a lot of coolant. It was just coming out of the from somewhere. It was just leaking towards the bottom. At first, I thought it was a hose down at the bottom around the transmission, but when they looked at it on the top, the mechanics did, they found it right on top of the intake where the EGR gasket meets there. But again, that's just initial. I didn't see any leaks coming from the radiator itself, so I don't think it's the radiator. But in a worst case scenario, maybe it's the radiator. But um, I don't think it's that big of an issue. It's just that they told me straight up when I got there with the truck that they were, you know, it would be probably towards the beginning of the week, which was this past week, Monday. And then with the holiday and everything, they said it was going to be a few days, but they could get to it because they were behind on everything. Dollar Tree Lawn Chair. Evening. Good evening, buddy. Southern Indiana. So, Dan, where are you from in Southern Indiana? Because that's where I grew up. I'm from Jeffersonville, if you know where that's at, next to New Albany. But yeah, they've got a really nice home goods account out of Indianapolis that would probably be perfect for you. I don't know a whole lot about it. They got a Bush Baked Beans account out of Dandridge, Tennessee, which is Knoxville. And they've got Walmart accounts spread out everywhere. I don't know if they've got the Fort Campbell one or the Seymour, Indiana, but that might be something too. Oh yeah, okay, Brandon. But yeah, they've got several different. You're in a good area, Evansville. Okay, I'm gonna be going through Evansville tomorrow. As a matter of fact, you ever heard of Olney, Illinois? That's where I'm going to tomorrow. What about the overflow tank? Yeah, that's where I was having to put coolant in, was the overflow tank. I don't think it was leaking from that. Um, we saw the puddle right on top of the intake. So it has to be that EGR gasket. There's absolutely hardly any pressure in the coolant at all. That's why they were putting the pressure test on it when I left. And every time that I would open up the cap from the overflow, it wouldn't fizz out like it's supposed to. So you're rebuilding his ISX currently, cracked head gasket because the liner suck. It was pushing coolant from the overflow tank onto the ground. That might be a possibility. By the way, I think the ISX is probably that and the Detroit 60 are probably the two best motors that were ever made, in my opinion. Yep, I'm going to Walmart only. That's exactly where I'm going. Yeah, I agree, Alaska. I hope it's something simple. Um, I really do. I don't really want to get rid of this truck yet, per se. It is a good truck. I would like to run it a little bit longer if I'm able to. Well, Dan, I tell you what, buddy. If I got time tomorrow throughout my travels, if you call me, maybe we can catch up. If you're in Evansville, because I'm gonna be going. The way the map look, I'm going right through Evansville. If you're up for it, I know it's the 4th. If you got plans, that's fine too. No big deal. So, Dan, let me know what time you'll be through here, and I will meet you. Yeah, the way it looks right now, my clock starts at like 4 in the morning, so it's probably going to be a little bit after lunch, somewhere between 12 and 3, if I had to guess. Um, yeah, just give me a call in the morning. We'll try and catch up, and I'll let you know what I got going on. So, yeah, I got almost 500,000 from this engine. The guy that rebuilt it the last time didn't cut the block, so it was a ticking time bomb. Plus, it's pushing 600 horsepower on 485 original tube. Wow, that's a good motor there. Hmm. Interesting. All right, Dan, sounds good. You know, Alaska, that's one thing that I always wanted to get into was rebuilding motors. I'm a car junkie more than a truck junkie, but I always really wanted to get a project and just kind of work on it in my own time. I know diesels are a lot easier to work on than what cars are, car motors. One of my dreams and ambitions, but time is more valuable to me than messing around with that crap. So the last thing I need is a project. Anybody got any other comments? nobody has anything, we'll cut her loose. I'm trying to put out a video here in the next 24, 48 hours. I haven't put one out in a couple. It's been a little bit over a week. So like I said, I've just been nursing this pain in my arm, and the two breakdowns just really haven't been kind to me. So I got Michelle ready to go on another show. I've got Austin from the International Dealership ready to go on a show. And I got talks with the ES Advantage guys come here on Monday that are going to want to come on the show. And I'm going to try and reach back out to the Road Warrior headset guys and have them come back on for a show too, for the guys that didn't see the first show. Still trying to get the Go Green guys to come on. They're in my in my looks too. Just wait for them to call me back. Alaska says it's a great gig. I'm paying my friend to do it. He does it on the side from trucking, $5,000 for labor, and he will have it done in a week in his backyard. Man, that's awesome. So, what do you put in the ISX in that long nose that you have in your picture there? Is that a Peterbilt or a Kenworth? I can't really tell. 9,000. Looks like it's a Kenworth actually. 9,000 in parts, 5,000 for labor, 1,000 to cut the block, about 16 after fluids and all. That's actually not bad. 16 grand for the IS rebuild. Okay. So you got your headset, the Road Warrior. Okay, good deal. It's not a bad headset. The only issue that I have with the headset is two things. Excuse me, guys. Two things. To me, I don't think the battery life is as long as it needs to be. That's my only complaint with it major. And the other thing is, and again, I know why they do it. Every time you turn the headset on, it goes to the medium volume level. And I think I said that in the very first video. If it would go back to the setting to where, like when I turn my Blue Parrot on, it goes back up to the full volume level where I keep it so I can hear. This one goes all the way to the middle level, and you got to sit there and push the button to raise your volume up. That's my only two complaints. I love it's light. It doesn't even feel like you have a headset on. It doesn't screw up my hair. If you all notice, I've got a pretty nice head of hair here that I like to brag on. But when I wear that headset, it doesn't really mess with my hair. It kind of doesn't grab it. And the metal one with the Blue Parrot, the metal one kind of grabs the side of your skull. Well, this one here just kind of hangs there. And it's not really that it's a negative issue, but when you put your headset down, it doesn't grasp your neck. This one here just kind of hangs there. If you don't hold on to it, it'll fall off. But other than that, it's not a bad headset at all. It works great. It sounds good too. 2008 W900, one of the best trucks ever. I love the Kenworths. Road Warrior headset. I think I still have the banner here. All right, so there's the Road Warrior headset banner. A lot of the Loves and a lot of the truck stops are carrying them. But if you go online at that website there and put the RW Fly Rabbit discount code, you get 25% off. One of the headsets is $100, and the other one is $75. So if you do that, you get 25% off each one. Very good headset, by the way. Battery life is important. It gets annoying after charging it. Yeah, I get about 2 days out of it. With the Blue Parrot, it just depends on how much I use it. But with the Blue Parrot, I can get 3 or 4 days out of the Blue Parrot. But on this one, I'm lucky to get 2 days. But you guys got to understand, I'm on the phone all day long. People call me every single day. I get at least a dozen guys that call me about coming over to Swift each day. I mean, between 10 and 12 people each day, especially on the days that I do videos or lives. They call me up and, we'll talk and I'll give them information. And by the end of the day, like right now, my voice is about ready to go. Now, I didn't have anybody. I only had 2 people call me today, believe it or not. But, and again, that includes the guys that are already here too for help and stuff. So you use the shocks. Yeah, the shocks aren't bad either. They're not bad either. You got them glasses on your head, Dan, like you're either Ricky Bobby or what was the other guy's name? baseball player, the HBO show, Eastbound and Down. I can't remember what his name was. You wear them Oakley looking glasses like that. That's funny. But yeah, use that website there, Alaska. That it's not a bad headset. It's very comfortable. If I give it anything, it's definitely more comfortable than any of the other ones. He said, "Oh, that's an old picture." Yeah, I wasn't making fun of him. I just thought it was kind of funny. But you can go through some of my old pictures and you laugh your ass off too. I've got some oldies but goodies. But everybody that's ordered the headset, to my knowledge, the ones that have used it like it. Uh, do you see the same thing that I see, Jonah, about the power or the battery life? So Melvin, I'm not even going to butcher your last name. I looked into doing lease with Swift, but because I'm from the great state of California, it was a no. But that's okay. I'll just keep saving, and eventually I'll have enough in the future to buy a truck. So Melvin, when you get about 5K down, between 5 and 8K down, let me know, and I'll be having the international guy come on the show again too. As long as you're okay with an international, he does get other trucks too. You don't have to go to the international, but obviously the international is what they sell at the used lot. But I'll have him on the show again here in the next week or two, and if you can get $5,000 to $8,000 down, he'll get you into a truck. So you got the same issue with the battery life. Okay. That's the only issue that I have with that headset, really. That and the volume level. But I know why they do the volume level. They don't want you to go deaf from listening to it. It just automatically goes to that. I get it. Well, I got to tell you what, guys. I think we're gonna cut it here. I'm gonna give it about another 3 or 4 minutes here, and we're gonna cut it off. I'm gonna lay down and relax. This 4 o'clock is gonna come really quick on me. It's only 7 hours away now. So, trucking with blues. I have a Blue Parrot 350 that works great, but most of the time I just use my AirPod Pro 4s with noise cancellation. They work great and are super light, comfy, and non-intrusive. I've been wanting to try that out. So they work very well with driving a truck. I mean, it doesn't have any kind of distortion in the background. So what I'm trying to get at, so you don't really have to have a trucker headset anymore if they're that good. Answer that question. Are they that good? If they are, I might try and buy a pair. Actually, I think I have a pair. I bought my daughter a pair of them. I'll have to ask her. Interesting. So yes, okay. I might have to look into them. What was the cost that you paid for them? Do you remember? $189. He thinks. Okay. All right. We'll have to look into those. All right, guys. I guess we'll cut it here. We've been on almost an hour, 59 minutes. So, all right, guys. You all have a great 4th of July. You all be careful. Remember, accidents. Be careful. There's a lot of crazy drivers out there. I don't know what's going on with this English proficiency, if they're actually enforcing it or what. If you guys drive through Georgia, like I said, I-20 between Atlanta and down around Augusta, they were hot and heavy today. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but they were hot and heavy down through there today. I'm sure a lot of the other states will be too. Sunday, especially. Sunday, people going home, be careful driving out on the roads. Anybody has any questions, feel free to call me. My number's always on. If not, just leave me a message or shoot me a text, and I will get back with you as soon as I can. And it doesn't even have to be about recruiting. It can be about anything. Just my phone is always available, so give me a ring if you guys need anything. If not, you guys have a good night. All my usuals, Alaska Hall, Jonah, all you guys, y'all have a great night. And the 2 guys that I talked to, we'll talk tomorrow. Have a great night, guys. Be careful.